Everyone, it is Road to Dawn here with a new video. So it has been a while, hasn't it? I've just been really busy with school and such. But it is the end of the year, and I'm going to give you my top 10 games of the year. Before we start, I want to give out two honorable mentions. The first, Resident Evil 2. I have actually not played much of it, maybe 5-10 minutes, but so I can't, in good faith, admit it onto this list. But um, I think it's very well made from what I've played, and I'm sure I'll really enjoy it. So that's one. And two, Mortal Kombat X. I didn't get to play it this year, but it looks really good, and I'm sure it's really good. So, and I just love the work that NetherRealm does. So those are the two honorable mentions. But without further ado, let's get into this list. Uh, but before we do, make sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at GoatShella, GoatShela. Just, I think I'm a good follow. And yeah, let's get into it. Number 10, Untitled Goose Game. Yeah, this game really came out of nowhere, huh? It's a very calming game. It can be hard at points, but it's very good. Very, very good. Just the weirdness of this game delights me. How you're just a goose and you go around, you annoy people, you start destroying farms. It's just a lot of fun. The first game from these guys, I can't wait to see what they do in the future. I mean, it's just the title of it is funny. They're a lot of times you get companies making up these stupid titles that are just like Kingdom Hearts, especially like Birth by Sleep. What's another one? Modern Warfare. Uh, yeah, stuff like this. Uh, which is just, and it's just nice to see something fresh, something hilarious, something you can just relax to with some nice music in the background. A lot of good stuff. Good stuff. Number 9, My Friend Pedro. Now, I actually got to play this game at PAX, and I had heard of it. It was from my brother, and it was interesting. But when I played it, it was really fun. Just crazy. You're shooting the gravity. You're shooting with all these weird things, especially frying pans. Just such a good game. Really enjoy it. Um, but and so I played it when it came out. The full game is awesome. Just like Devolver Digital, they don't have huge budgets. It's pretty obvious. They're an indie developer. But they craft these gems that are better than 75 to 80% of what mainstream and big budget video games are, which I think is really impressive, and just like it shows how you don't need a big budget to achieve great things in any art form, but especially video games. You just have to have the creativity, desire, and just love for video games instead of greed. Trying to get it out quickly. It shouldn't be. It should flow like an ocean, not a machine. It shouldn't be something you're grinding out. It should be something that's flowing across the water. And that sounds corny and cringy, but it's the fucking truth. That's how it should be. Great game. The gameplay is really good. Story was, you're not really in it for the story, I'll just say. So that's why it's only at number 9. Number 8. This is a pretty big game. Super Mario Maker 2. Now, this game, we didn't even know this game was coming out till I think February. Yeah, February. 5 months later, it is on our screens, on our Switches, and we're playing it. And this game just built off everything that Mario Maker 1 did so beautifully. Adding the Super Mario 3D World, even though it's not 3D, it's just the platforming levels, adds another great element to it. They actually did the online right, not unlike the 3DS version, which was god awful. But this, they do it right. The story mode, I didn't really care for it, but it was nice. The co-op with your friends, just great. The level design is so much easier and was perfect for the Switch. It's like Super Mario Maker 2 was meant to be on the Switch. It was destined to be good and destined to happen. So really like that. And of course, Nintendo 9.9 times out of 10 does a fantastic job. Yeah, love it. The only thing I would hope they, instead of giving us nothing after this and waiting for a Mario Maker 3, can they add, like, give us new content for this game? Months in the months ahead. That would really make this game amazing. But it's already super good. One of the best of the year. One of Nintendo's top games of the year. And yes, Nintendo has more games on this list. Really enjoyed it. Nintendo, another hole in one. Number 7. Pokemon Shield. This is the second Nintendo game on the list. This might be controversial for some Pokemon fans, but this game was just so fun. I mean, the new Pokemon, Dynamo, the gym battles, not the gym battles. Actually, yes, the gym battles. The gym battles feeling like they're actual sporting events, like spectacles. It's just so good. It enhances it. What I've always wanted, because I've always seen the Pokemon League and the Pokemon anime, like, why are we doing that? Why are we fighting just going to the Elite Four? Why want to fight in this tournament? And we don't really get that, but we do get the gym battles are awesome, and I just love the fact that it's set in England, Scotland, Ireland, that area. Just so many nice things I can enjoy because I'm a big fan of the Premier League. Go Leicester City. Liverpool's probably winning the title. And just English culture in general. So that was fun to see. Yeah, the new Pokemon designs are very creative. Yeah, the graphics are outdated. But who cares? You're not playing Pokemon for the graphics. Let's be real. It just brings, and finally, we can play Pokemon on a big ass TV. I have always wanted this. You can say Pokemon Token Turn. That's not a real Pokemon game. This is what I've always wanted, to have a real big adventure Pokemon game. Yeah, I'll play it on my big ass TV. So that is just really awesome. Yeah. Credit to Nintendo. Credit to Game Freak. All the shit they got for this game. And all the negativity that came with it. I mean, this game was great. And yeah, that's all I can really say about it. The only issue I have is the Pokédex. That's, of course, an issue. I mean, come on, what are you doing with that? That was stupid. Number 6, Nintendo's last game on this list. Fire Emblem. 3 Houses. Yes, sir. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Great game. Great game. I did not think I'd enjoy this. I was like, Fire Emblem and Smash. I was like, come on, do we really need more of these characters? I didn't really get the hype behind this game, and when they announced a new one, it was like the grah. And I know I made all the same jokes that you guys made when the school thing was announced, and yeah. And then the game came out, and people were saying nice things about it, good things. And, well, soon I just had to give in to the hype. I mean, it seemed cool. All the choices you could make, people were raving about how it's such a good game. I've never been a huge turn-based person. Then I played this game, and holy cow, this game was marvelous. From the character design to the cutscenes that are made in anime format, those were fantastic. Atlas a la Atlas. Yes. Choosing your house, having that pride, arguing with people that your house is the best. And if you recall me seeing Lester, you know which one I'm a part of. The Leicester City Foxes has their own house in Fire Emblem. Hell to the yeah, I was choosing them. The characters are very well liked, and just also the music was superb. Battle music. The school was so well designed, and the challenge, it makes you want to, how you have to level up your characters, how you want to spend each time individually and mend a relationship with them, how you really care. Very few games can make me do that, and this was one of them. I mean, how often do you care about every single one of your characters, even your weakest ones? When you're a teacher, you actually want these people to do well, and you take the time, if you're good at if you really want to be good at this game, leveling up them and buying stuff that'll fit their playstyle, and that's really rewarding, and it's a great feeling to have with a game. Only problem I would say is maybe a little more, maybe a better weapon degradation system. I wasn't a huge fan of that. Yeah, but that is number 6. Number 5, Outer World. Yes, the Obsidian game, their last exclusive, their last multi-plat one before they go Xbox, and holy cow, that shit was fire. If you know me, you probably don't, but Fallout New Vegas is, in my opinion, well, not is my favorite game ever. I love it to death. It's the best Fallout game, best game I've ever played. Just everything about it, and they did that here, but in space. It very much feels like a Bethesda style, Elder Scrolls or Fallout, but the amount of paths you can take, the stuff you can do, it's tremendous, really. I mean, hats off to them. The characters are wacky. The weapons are crazy. Exactly like New Vegas. It's basically New Vegas in space with the reputation, the different factions, the endings, and yes, it is a double A game, but for how, and that's kind of where its limitation. This would be higher, but as the problems of it is, it's not a Bethesda game, which because it's not nearly as big as either Fallout 3 or Fallout 4 or Skyrim, or maybe even Oblivion for that matter, which is why it can't be higher. If it had a little more to it, it might have been able to crack the top 5, maybe even the top 3. But, unfortunately, that's its limitations. But even with that said, it's still fantastic. The voice acting is great. Companions, the humor, and just the locations are all really good. And that is my number 6. So now we're into the top 5. And number 5 is... Oh, I made a mistake there. I got myself confused. That was number 4. No, that was number 5. Sorry. So this is now number 4. This might be a little controversial. Death Stranding. Now, I know a lot of you will say, oh my god, it's a walking simulator. It's just literally your Kojima. No, this game is great. You play this game to the end. This game is phenomenal. The messages it sends about how basically a lot of games are trying, you're tearing stuff apart. You're destroyer. You're the killer. Even in Metal Gear Solid, which was his creation, you were tearing things apart and destroying things to try and keep stuff together. This game is different. This is all about connecting, bringing people together. Now, you don't have to do that. If you know the ending, you know. Yes, you know. But just, first of all, can we give credit to Sony for giving him the actors he needed? And holy, the acting in this game, voice acting, the mocap, since the mocap allows them to be very physical, it's phenomenal. Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, Guillermo del Toro. I forget some of the other characters, the actors specifically, but they're all top notch. Especially the president's daughter. I blank on her name right now. They're all just really good, and the taking care of the baby. I thought that was a really cool element. I love. A lot of people were annoyed by how you fall down if you weren't careful, but I actually like this. I think it was cool how you basically just walk and fall down places if you weren't careful. It really makes you think. You develop, like in Fire Emblem, you develop a relationship with your BB because you want to protect it because it's the thing that's helping you, and you're as you go through the game, it really challenges you to think: is this what you want to do, or it's a lot like Dark Souls in the time where like final choices in Dark Souls is, do you want to, spoilers for people haven't played. Go play Dark Souls, by the way. Why haven't you done that? Off topic, but uh, how your choice is to do what they're telling you to do, fan the flame, not fan the flame. Do what they're telling you to do and light the flame, keep it lit to preserve the world in whatever form it is now, or let it die. Now, your obvious answer would be, why would you let the world die? Why would you not? Why would you not light the flame? The world's gonna end. But it poses you with the question: would you rather keep the world how it is, in this shitty form it is, but it's still there, or would you rather let it die in hopes that it can become something more? That's a lot of the moral things and questions it asks you in Death Stranding, which I really appreciate. Now, on to the top three. All three of these games are world class. Everyone who made these games should be incredibly proud. They create terrific works of art. And number three is the Game Awards Game of the Year, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Now, if you couldn't tell by the last thing, I'm a big Dark Souls fan. Love 1 and 3. And I really like Demon Souls. And I like Dark Souls too. That's a whole nother video. But what I love about Sekiro is it introduces a way new style of combat. As the last one was more just killing people. Just you're having to block, kind of, roll away, try and just not get caught. This is different. This game, Sekiro, is very much fight, fight, fight. You have to be tactically sound. No one to block, no one to parry, no one to strike, and I love that combat system. Last year, my game of the year was God of War, and its combat system for me was a big plus. Games with great combat systems obviously are great, but creative ones, especially like Sekiro, like it really makes you think and have to choose your moves carefully, or you're dead and you go back and you're screwed. Because this is another classically incredibly hard game. Like, it's amazing. And the voice acting, it's in complete Japanese, which I very much respect, and it fits it because we're kind of in what we were with Dark Souls. We could assume was Bloodborne and Dark Souls, maybe medieval England or something in that area, Britannia. But we can't really put an assumption on it. We know basically from Bloodborne it's very English. But this is in Japan, and the story is unlike Dark Souls. It's not incredibly hard to capture, to get to it. But a lot of people don't like that. I am totally fine with it, and the game is still just really good. The enemy design is very creative. Landscapes are great. Our main protagonist is unlike our last ones, where he actually has a clear backstory. He was the guardian of this girl, princess. These dudes were trying to capture her. He died in battle, but he was reborn. And you were actually meeting a lot more nice characters who you can actually have conversations with and who aren't trying to murder you. And now definitely there were those in Bloodborne and Souls. There weren't as many. The one problem I have with it that might keep it from being number 1 or 2 is the goddamn oh my god. The final boss is so frustrating. And not that he's hard, it's just the way he's set up, his many forms. I'm like, come on, man. We didn't have this with Gwyn or Gwyn again. Basically, that was his final in Dark Souls 3. Or even Nashandra. Though Nashandra's a pretty shit final boss, if I do say so myself. Or even German, or the last thing, I forget what it's called. So I wish that could have been improved. And this game would probably be 2 or maybe even 1. But that aside, fantastic. Just really good game. From Software, they finally did it. Their rise from rags to riches is a great story. I recommend you look it up. It's amazing. If you haven't played these games, if you're just putting it off because it's hard, it's not hard. It's hard, but it's fair. If you learn to play by its rules, you can succeed in these games and end up beating them. Top two. Now, number two, it's basically my entire channel. Kingdom Hearts 3 is my number two. Now, though before you KH2 Final Mix elitists come at me, this game is amazing. And it's the best Kingdom Hearts game in its current state without remind. Yes, it is. This story perfectly wraps up the Xehanort Saga. Some of the most jaw-dropping moments that we could never have dreamed of. Spoiler territory. Lingering Will versus Terranort. Did that moment not give you goosebumps? Also, can you not say with certainty that Terranort being the Guardian wasn't amazing? The Aqua fight? Roxas's emergence? You can't tell me that shit didn't give you goosebumps. The music, being able to send off to Xemnas and Sum, both really admitting who they were. And just you take the story aside, the gameplay was unlike anything else we've seen. So colorful, so fun. While Kingdom Hearts 2 and 1, it was kind of like, move here, that swing your key like Yoda forms. This is like a whole batch of colors and all these crazy new moves you can pull off. Amazing. Well, and I know it's too easy. Well, you can make your own difficulty. That's the thing. So, you can make your own difficulty. Like, there are so many settings you can adjust. And it's just so, it allows you to make your own, kind of make the way you play. If you like playing how you did in Kingdom Hearts 2, you don't have to use any of these things. You can play like you did in Kingdom Hearts 2. You like these new styles, you can only use those. The photo mode, fun. Yes, and the finding the lucky emblems, a lot of collectible stuff. Like instead of collecting all those stupid things we had to collect, that was not fun in the older games. We have this. So, incredible game. Just a great send off, and I'm very excited for Remind. And also, Disney Worlds were nailed. The new ones. Pirates of the Caribbean, Big Hero 6, both. Big Hero 6 ended really well. Pirates of the Caribbean was incredible. Tangled was superb. Frozen Toy Story could have been better, but still. Oh, Monsters Inc. was amazing. Number one! I guarantee you were not expecting this. My number one for Games of the Year of 2019 from the company behind Persona 5, Catherine Full Body. Now, this might come as a surprise to some people, but holy, this game is incredible. There are very few games that make me have a deeper, not just games, pieces of art that make me have a deep reflection of myself, and Catherine Full Body was one of them. The emotions I felt, well, with the main character Vincent trying to navigate this life of, does he want to be tied down? Who does he really love? How should you accept the acceptance you have for people whose quirks and things are weird, but if you do love them? And that's what it challenges. Also, the metaphors of how being tied down makes you soon you become sheep, not really accomplishing anything. How is the excitement of chaos versus the dullness of peace? Which is for you? It really makes you think, and the story is really well done. It also has multiple endings, so you can go back and play again. And the gameplay element of the puzzles I thought were very creative. How this separate side to the love life is a weird world you're in where you're a sheep. And those puzzles were really fun to do. This game is so good. I can even the flaws are so minute that there's a few story details I wasn't particularly fond of. I can't take any points away from that. It's magnificent. The voice acting. It's an anime game. It's an produced. It has anime cutscenes, but don't let that turn you off. This game is necessary to play. It's an experience you all need to have. You're doing yourself a disservice by not playing it. I could go on and on about how good this game is. If you like Doki Doki Literature Club, it's that, but 10 million times better. It's that with more with gameplay, um, a little bit of the same weirdness. It's definitely not as dark. Has a lot of good humor. If you like Persona, this game is perfect for you because it's has that same Atlas style. But yeah, that's my list of the top 10 best games of 2019. It's been a great year for gaming. Next year, I'm expecting even better with Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Remind, Starfield, Cyberpunk, and I'm probably Ghosts of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, new consoles. I'm expecting a lot. So thank you all. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.